Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I didn't realize it.
You've learned to put on your pants, which is incredible.
That's bad either way. Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio. My name is Jerry Begley, and this is the only show that sends Christmas stockings in to freshen them up at the dry cleaners.
Oh, yeah. You know, with these, the only show stuff, we never actually check to see if it's been done before, so all the stuff we've done, it may have been done before.
Mr. Begley, we here at Johnson, Johnson, Johnson & Johnson Law Firm have found that everything you have ever mentioned that you alone have done has been done before. We have a cease and desist on the only show thing.
Okay, we'll come up with something different. Thank you.
But you can't come up with anything new. It's all been taken.
Solomon said that there's nothing new under the sun.
They must have had a lot of secondhand stores back in the Bible days. Today, we're going to be talking about Too Big For His Britches.
I'd like to point out that it's been 5 years since I cut myself with a knife.
That was a random insertion into our show. Stay tuned.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I know more about cooking dinner for a party of 12 than about packing a lunch for a 12-year-old. I know kids like things like fish sticks. Fillets, I get, but sticks? Maybe we can just compromise on mac and cheese. Can you make that with Brie?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Haps Johnson.
This is Yuri Komkov.
This is Shirley.
And you're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
I don't know about that, Shirley.
Now warning lights are flashing down the quality control. Somebody threw a spanner, they threw him in the hole.
Okay, you're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. Too Big For His Britches. What in heaven's name are we talking about?
We are talking about outgrowing stuff.
Outgrowing anything.
Yeah, outgrowing anything. Let's start with pants.
Sure, since it is in the name.
Yeah, I have 4 sons, 3 daughters, and we had a lot of britches in our house, don't we?
Oh, wait, what are britches?
Pants.
Oh, I thought we were talking about, vehicles or whatever that are too big for their bridges.
No, not too big for the bridges. That would be like a little tiny bridge that you drive over and it collapses into the creek.
Or a regular-sized bridge, but you try driving a mining dump truck across it. Those things are far too large for regular roads.
You mean they kind of have the wheels that are 12 feet high?
Yep.
No. We are talking about...
Pants.
Pants, yeah.
Okay, the first way that you're too big for your britches are when you're a little squirt and you become bigger.
A big squirt.
So, one day, you're 5 months old, and you're you've learned to put on your pants, which is incredible because
At
you're
5
only
months?
5. Yeah, that's incredible. You're big brain.
You know what's the coolest way I ever put my pants on growing up?
What?
How?
I was on the top of a bunk bed, and I would clothespin them to the side of the bunk bed, and in the morning I'd roll over and shove my feet through and jump down. My pants were on.
Like Wallace.
It sounds like a good way to face plant.
Okay, so you're growing up, and do you just suddenly, just one day, all of a sudden go, whoa, these pants are too small, or...
Yes.
Well, okay.
Is that true for you, Josiah?
Yes, depends on if it's after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving.
And I woke up when I was 20 years old, and I realized my toddler clothes were just a little bit too small.
Those little yellow duckies look kind of funny on your blue jeans. Are those blue jeans or shorts?
Overalls.
Pajamas.
I'd like to point out that it's actually really hard to outgrow overalls.
That's a really good point. You're talking about the kind that have the straps to go over your shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
You can never get too big for overalls.
Oh, yes, you can. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a torso that's 6 inches long.
I have a question for Josiah. Were you the kind of person who all of a sudden just woke up one day and went, ding, my pants are too small? Or do you kind of see it creeping up on you?
You kind of see it creeping up on you.
That sounds like last Sunday morning.
What happened?
No.
He woke up and we realized that his pants were about 4 inches too short.
No, he didn't. We did.
That's true.
You can't wear those to church.
That reminds me of a time long ago when we were moving, and I had a pair of pants that I was wearing for Sunday, but they were too small. So I put them on, but we were moving, so we didn't have time to grab another pair of pants that wasn't too small. So I had to wear pants that were too small for Sunday.
You know what's the coolest thing about having pants that are too small?
What?
When you have cowboy boots on and you sit down and the legs go up, and then when you stand up and you don't realize that the legs don't go back down, they're stuck on the top of the cowboy boots. So you're walking around with your pants stuck on the top of the cowboy boots.
That is a problem I encounter every day. As someone who has a 28-inch waist and is very tall, it is
and also wears cowboy boots every day.
And a 40-inch inseam.
It's very hard to find yourself some pants that fit you.
What's another way that pants don't fit you or clothes?
Waist.
How?
So you outgrow them. Then they don't fit around your hip bones anymore.
I actually had to grow into the waist to the smallest waist size that you could possibly find.
That's on the men's side, right?
Men's side and children's side. I always had to wear a belt even with slim fit.
He has such long legs. Again, guys, this is the guy with a 6-inch long torso, but 12
feet long
12
legs.
12 foot long legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like stilts. You're the opposite of me, right? Like on the waist end, it's like, whew, I grew into the waist really quick.
You know you're in trouble.
48 by 20.
People are going to get this weird vision of what I look like, but it's probably true.
Imagine a disc. Yeah, that's a disc with the pencil stuck through the middle.
That's a record? What is this?
Sure, a record. That's a bit larger than I was thinking, but if you're going to say it.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, Too Big For His Britches. Hang on, I got to go. We got to regroup here.
I'm a hard-working man. I wear a steel hard hat. I can ride rope, a hammer and paint. Do things with my hands that most men can't. I can't get ahead no matter how hard I try. I'm getting really good at barely getting by.
Speak up, because you can. Your mind is a powerful tool, and so is your freedom of speech. So use it. It's what separates you from being a number to being an individual. Thoughts, beliefs, opinions, creativity. It's what makes you, you. Stand proud and say it loud. Know your rights. Know your freedom to speak. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and the Broadcast Education Association.
Comedy Parenting Radio, vetoed #1 by Parents Magazine.
That's voted #1. Voted #1 by Parents Magazine.
No, look. The article says vetoed #1.
Oh, never mind.
All the old paintings on the tomb, they do the sand dance, don't you know? If they move too quick, they're falling down like a domino.
We're back with Too Big For Your Britches. Dad is over there checking his belt.
This belt thing is a little weird because did you see that my belt here has 3 different notches that I use?
Yep.
My stomach does not go in and out like 3 notches.
It does when you breathe.
I'd like to point out that my belt has 1 notch, and it's super worn to the point of almost being unusable, and then all the other ones are just perfectly nice. Look brand new.
Your Honor, I would like to defend myself as my belt notches go in and out depending on whether it's winter or summer, because in the summertime I'm just wearing shorts and a t-shirt. In the wintertime I've got long johns and sweaters and coats.
You stuff your coat down your pants?
No, not that.
Actually, in the summertime, Dad doesn't wear a belt. We use that to tie our boat to shore.
But my belt, it goes back and forth, which is kind of embarrassing because now it's winter time, and if people see my belt, I'm on the last notch.
Have you ever outgrown your belt?
Yes.
I have actually never had that problem.
I I've been too small for my belt.
I was in a Western store, and the lady put the tape around my waist and said, "Oh, you have a such and such waist." And I said, "Well, that can't be right." And she just burst out laughing. She thought that was the funniest thing.
I thought they would run out of tape.
Well, if that hole you left in the door wasn't enough of an indication.
It kind of snuck up on me.
What is better, to tell people you're fat and then when they see you, you're skinny, or to tell people you're skinny and when they see you, you're fat? Which one is better?
I'm losing either way, because there will be people that never see me. Then there will be people that always see me. That's bad either way.
I don't know, man. There's mind games to be played here.
You know that the shortest person in our family is about 4 foot, lying down.
Thanks a lot.
Good old Victor Borger.
So you're not always just pants you outgrow. You outgrow other things, right?
Like
hats.
Hats.
I don't quite understand that. Like, most hats are very adjustable.
You ever been inside of a diving bell helmet?
If you ever go underwater and close to a volcano, I think you could get it malleable enough to push out.
How many people are in this stage in their life where they're diving with a diving bell helmet and they outgrow it?
Someone who was born on the Nautilus.
You see a lot of 6-year-old...
Or they pump too much air into the thing.
You see a lot of 6-year-old deep-sea divers out there.
Okay, but people outgrow hats.
Yep.
I mean, come seriously. You're going to wear the same hat you wore when you were 6 months old?
I could. Wait, who wears a hat at 6 months old?
I could. You've never seen movies of kids in the 1930s? They all wear hats. Even little babies.
You ever seen the Little Rascals?
Yeah, Little Rascals.
Yeah, well, that's different.
And babies have bonnets.
Yeah, bonnets. You probably had a bonnet when you were a kid.
Yeah, you probably had a bonnet.
What else do people get too big for?
Bed.
Bed what?
Big bed. Little bed. Not bed.
Blame.
You ever seen the Dr. Seuss book?
Which one?
Don't remember.
Were the guys too big for his bed?
Yep.
You know, I found that the bed industry is purposely discriminatory against people who are over 6 foot.
Yeah, but Cletus, you make your own beds.
And you should only have 2 feet in your bed anyway. Like, if you're sleeping with all your brothers, and it's like, so what a mess. Is like too many people.
A bed has 4 feet.
No, but
2.
no.
Bed. How many feet in a bed? A 6-foot bed only has 2 feet, and it has 4 feet.
Wait, that could be an actual good riddle. What has 6 feet?
What did I just say?
What has 6 feet, but also has 2 feet?
But it has 4
feet. 4 feet, 2 feet.
But it doesn't have. Hold on.
Okay,
what has 6
Joshua,
feet? What has 6 feet, but has 2 feet, but does not have 8 feet combined?
No. Joshua, you say the riddle.
What is 6 feet, 4 feet, 2 feet?
6, 4, 12 feet. That's a terrible riddle. It was better when I said it.
No, but in all reality, I attribute short beds to my neck pain.
Wouldn't you attribute your neck pain to short beds? Attention, please. Every short bed in the world is due to Elijah's neck pain.
I mean, that's exact. You have your head bent over and you're making those beds.
Making those beds.
I don't know, you know.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, and we're not sure why. Too Big for His Britches. We'll be right back.
You think that people would have had enough of a silly love song? But I look around me and I see it isn't so.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cool time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
This is Crazy Russian Dad, and you're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. Go do your homework.
Okay, it's Comedy Parenting Radio, too big for his britches. What else are you too big for?
Hugs.
Hugs?
I mean, isn't that what everyone always tells you when you're like, when you greet like friends who have been friends for a long time, and then they reach this point where like, oh, you're too big for hugs, aren't you? And then you're like, well, I guess
no.
so.
Is this a new thing?
Stop.
What's with the hug thing, by the way? I have people hugging me all the time. Like, I'm like, really? Is this a new thing?
Hugs?
Yeah.
Hugs?
Did they come from Argentina or what?
They came from a caveman named Grug, if movies have taught me everything.
I'm having people hug me that have never hugged me before.
Probably caveman ancestors.
Like, oh, you've gotten so big. Also, why do grandmas think that you can outgrow a hug? You can never outgrow a hug from a grandma.
No. What else do people outgrow?
You see, I had a suit coat, and one day I was trying to wear it, and I found out the shoulders are incredibly too small for me.
I didn't realize it.
Wow. The whole... Here's the thing.
What has this show been about for the last...
When he's trying to put on a suit coat, it's like trying to fit a suit coat around a globe, okay?
Okay, you've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, too big for his britches. Hopefully you guys don't outgrow anything in the near future. Thanks for coming into the studio today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And before you guys go...
Yeah?
Can you go get the leather punch? I need to add another hole in this belt.
I gotta get out of here anyways. This building is getting a little small.
Is there such a thing as a subtracting leather punch? I need to remove a couple holes.
Bye-bye.
That's very funny to me. Y'all ain't laughing though.